Hello, hello. Let's see. Perfect. 6 o'clock. It's gonna move. Hello, hello. Thanks for hopping on live. Just gonna give it another minute for people to hop on. Hello, hello. Hi, Stephanie. Thanks for introducing yourself and letting me know that you're here. So, yes, whoever is on right now, please introduce yourself in the comments, where you're tuning in from, and something fun about yourself as we wait for a few more people. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Tasha. Hello. Okay. All right, I'm going to give it to 6:02, and then we're definitely going to just jump right in. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get started. So, for those of you who are on live, I'm going to pop a Google Drive link in the comments for the free fertility intentions worksheet. You can feel free to use this as you follow along, but I definitely highly recommend spending some quiet time alone to really reflect the worksheet at another time. So I'll put that in the comments. Hello, hello. I see another viewer. Please feel free to just pop your name in the comments and where you're watching from. Hopefully this link will work. So, well, let me know in the comments if you're unable to access it, but I can see the preview, so I believe it should be fine. So, thanks ladies for being on live. We're just gonna get started. So, yes, I want to jump in and do like a yearly reflection with you all. So I would like to start by taking a moment for each of you and myself to reflect on the past year. And you can start just by putting your hand on your heart if that feels good, and just kind of sitting with yourself and feeling, very proud about this past year. Okay? No matter where you are in your fertility journey, I want you to show yourself love, compassion, and appreciation. Okay, we're at the end of 2022, and you should be so proud of yourself. Whether you feel like you've been running in place for the last year, or if you feel like you've taken 10 steps back, I just want you to know that everything you experienced in 2022, good or bad, has helped you learn and grow in some way. It might be hard to kind of see that right now, but it's true. And just know that you're not starting your fertility journey all over again or from scratch in 2023, because everything that you've learned about yourself, everything that you've tried or implemented, is a stepping stone into the right direction. And just really shining a light onto the good things that did happen this year. So really think to yourself, what are you grateful for from 2022? There's got to be something. So even if something doesn't pop to your mind right now, definitely sitting and kind of reflecting on that. So let me just see. Oh, thank you for letting me know, Sarah. Hello, I see a couple new viewers here. Just introduce yourself in the comments, and please feel free to grab the Google Drive link there. That's going to have the free fertility intention worksheet. Since you came on live, I will be taking that down, so I would grab that. So, and then I would also think about what are some ways that you're going to nourish yourself in the new year. So maybe, I know for myself, I kind of fell off the meditation wagon there a little bit, but I know how good I feel when I do that. So I'm really hoping to intentionally create more space for that in my life. So that does require a thought and intention. And so, whatever you have to do to kind of remind yourself of that, whether it's a sticky note on your bedside table, a reminder that goes off on your phone. So, I just want to kind of check in with you guys. Do you have any questions about the yearly reflection at all? If you do, please feel free to pop them in the comments, and I'm just going to continue on. So now I want to dive into desires. So I want you to think about, what are your desires for this upcoming year? And I want you to be sure that these desires are yours and not someone else's kind of encroaching into your space. Sometimes we are kind of persuaded by others in our environment. So really just making sure that this is a desire that is truly on your heart. And let's just say, for the sake of the group, it's a fertility group. Let's just say the first thought that comes to your mind is, I want to be pregnant, or I want my baby. So we need to go deeper than just, I want to be pregnant. Okay? So really think about the energy that you're calling into your life for next year. So, one way to think about that is, what does this energy feel like in your body? So when you think, like envision in your mind, I want to be pregnant. Okay, what does that look like? Does that look like getting a positive pregnancy test, going to the doctor, seeing, an ultrasound? Is that a growing pregnant belly? What does that look like? And feel into your body how that feels. Does that feel happy? Do you feel joy? Do you feel peace, comfort? I mean, anything that comes up is, fine. And then also, I want my baby. If that's a thought that comes to your mind, envision what it would feel like going through birth and holding your baby for the first time, and just trying to tune into those feelings. So just kind of reflect, what does that feel like in your body, as if you're pregnant right now or holding your baby. So our intentions, they start in the mind, but it's up to us to embody the energy of that. And we hold the power. You hold the power and ability to envision and embody your desire as if it's already here, as if it's your reality. And a really great way to do this is through a visualization meditation. And I have created one specifically for this in my fertility meditation bundle. So I'd like to know if you guys have any thoughts or questions on that, in terms of kind of tapping in to your desires. Are you having any trouble kind of tuning into that? So just let me know in the comments, and I'll come back to that. So now I would like to talk about intentions. So think about ways that you deserve to be nourished physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. This could be nourishing foods, nourishing sleep, right? Restorative sleep is so important. Even relationships can be nourishing or draining. So setting boundaries to nourish yourself mentally and emotionally. Creating self-care routines that fill your feminine energy up, so you're not pouring from an empty cup. Okay? Because whether you're a caregiver for another small child, maybe you're experiencing secondary infertility, or maybe you have adopted, or maybe you take care of your niece or nephew, or maybe you take care of a parent, or even just your spouse. A lot of times as women, we put others' needs first. So how can you fill your cup? And really setting up rituals to connect with yourself in your sacred womb space. So this could be as simple as lighting a candle while you listen to music, or taking 5 minutes to give your womb a massage with a favorite scented oil that you like. So really take time to think about what you need and deserve in the new year, and write down how these things would make you feel. And also, how will you implement these practices? Because we can think about it all the time, like, oh, I would love to take a bath, but if we don't take action, it's not going to happen. So that's why I want you to start thinking about these things and writing them down. So do you have any thoughts or questions about that? Pop it in the comments. And then we're going to talk about letting go. So along with setting intentions for the new year, I think this also serves as the perfect time to leave things behind that are no longer serving you. So this could look like letting go of toxic patterns, letting go of self-sabotage. An example of this would be procrastination. Maybe you procrastinate to pay your bills, and then you're really stressed at the end of the month when you have to pay them all because you're going to be late. That's just an example. Maybe letting go of bad habits like smoking, or sleeping in, or something like that. Letting go of limiting beliefs about ourselves and our body. So this is a big thing in terms of fertility, when we start feeling like our body isn't capable of carrying a baby. So letting those things go. Letting go of toxic and draining relationships. This can sometimes involve family, so maybe, completely letting it go isn't ideal, but, communicating healthy boundaries to protect your energy. If this sounds scary or impossible to you, I would sit down and explore this resistance that's coming up and try to find where it's coming from. Because being able to communicate your values and boundaries are paramount as you enter motherhood. So being able to voice your needs and concerns during birth, and especially as you raise your children. So if you have any questions or thoughts on that, I'd love to hear them. And so I just wanted to kind of end with saying, I understand how lonely and isolated this journey can feel, and I'm also well aware of the awful bedside manner and lack of empathy and guidance that the conventional space offers women navigating their journey to motherhood. So this is why I'm opening up a few spaces in my calendar for a free fertility strategy session with you as we enter the new year. Now, I do just want to say I respect both yours and my own time, so please only schedule a session with me if you are serious and committed about taking charge of your fertility and intentions for the future. So I'm going to drop the link in the comments. And also be sure to schedule today if you think this is something you want to do, because once my allotted slots are filled, you won't be able to book. But I also want to thank you all so much for joining live, and I am wishing you a fruitful and happy new year and sending baby dust to all of you. So enjoy that worksheet, and I will see you in the new year, okay?